What's up, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar, and welcome to Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today I have the pleasure of having this ensemble with me to go over the September Marvel previews for collected editions. This is an early look. This information will be available everywhere about 15 to 20 days. But here's your exclusive first look. To the bottom of me, so he can breathe, I'll introduce this guy first, is this man wearing a dog mask. Who are you?
Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, and who are you?
Omni-Hugs Vault. Thank you.
You are so welcome. To the right of me is this lovely lady. And who are you?
Hello, I'm Ødfel. Yeah, I'm mostly a cosplayer, but I also come on and talk about comics every now and then.
There you go. And where can people find you, Ødfel?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of the social media sites, pretty much with this same handle. So, yeah.
Okay.
He has a YouTube thing that just went up like at a minute to 1 o'clock on my.
I did. I just posted a new YouTube short, so definitely go check it out after this.
Okay. Thank you for that, Jess. Are you also her PR part-time?
Yeah, everyone should check out her Supergirl cosplay too. She's got a rockin' suit there. You can find her at. You tell them about Phil.
Yeah, Supergirl is up on Instagram and Twitter. So.
Okay. Awesome. Well done, Jess. Well done. And to the right of Ødfel is this gentleman right here who's on mute. But
for once,
go ahead,
yeah, for once, no, it's true. Gentlemen would be pushing it. But yeah, Lars Pearson, formerly of Wizard Magazine, currently of Mad Norwegian Press. Glad to be here talking about comics. And for those of you who are keeping track, our next Doctor Who book, which is About Time Second Edition, About Time 4 Second Edition Volume 2, should be arriving from the printer next week, and will soon go in the mail to you if you pre-ordered from us.
And below that gentleman is another fine gentleman with a fresh new do, and that is Kurtis from the Epic Marvel Podcast. What's up, Kurtis?
Hey, I missed last month, and I really wish I could have. They kind of broke my streak. I think I'd been on like 10 in a row or something like that, and so.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad to be back,
man. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad to have everybody here. Peter couldn't make it. He has a big important meeting today that he could not, or a deadline for something for work. So he couldn't make it, but he said he will be happy to join us next time. And speaking of next time, we might have to do it a little bit earlier in the month. I like to do this the last Thursday of every month, but because I won't be here and we'll be out of the country, I may have to do it. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just looking at my calendar. The 15th. Are you guys good with the 15th? Everybody busy on June 15th? What's that? What are you doing, Jeff?
I'll be in Japan that day. Sorry.
You will not be in Japan that day. You are a liar.
Why can't you live stream from Japan?
Because they have a different time zone, and my wife said I need a break, Kurtis. So that's why I may have to get her you to write her a note to see if I can do that, and I'll see how that goes. But yes, management said no. Look,
June 15th is fine for me.
Okay, cool. So that might be the day that we do this for the October solicits from Marvel Comics. So today we got a lot to talk about, but before I do, big thank you to David Gabriel and everyone at Marvel Comics for sending us this advance notice. So let's go ahead and just rock it. All right.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and start.
We are ready.
We're ready. All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
All right. Let me know if you need it bigger. Of course you do.
I'm not touching that one.
All right, you need it bigger. There you go. What's up, Derek? How are you, my brother? Long time no see. Just talked to him this morning. Good evening. Yes, Leslie Nielsen's Dracula. I'm so glad somebody quoted Dracula. Very underrated Mel Brooks film with Leslie Nielsen. I think that might have been the last Mel Brooks film. But anyway, ROM. All right. So we are kicking it off with ROM. The original Marvel Years Omnibus Volume 1.
Future
Very
is now.
exciting that I got to announce this, finally getting it off my chest, and everybody now knows it's everywhere. Oh my gosh, and the rumors are just everywhere, including the toys. It's always funny to see people argue about what they know. They're like, oh, they can't legally do that because Marvel doesn't own ROM. It has to be a Hasbro thing. and they're talking about a toy now because I'm in some toy forums. So it's really interesting to see how people argue about just one big announcement. But yes, this is ROM, the original Marvel Years, Volume 1. Collecting the first 29 issues and the missing Power Man and Iron Fist issue number 73, which was not included in the Epics, nor did they do the Masterworks of that. Do you remember, Curtis?
I'm not sure if they reached that part of the Masterworks. I don't know.
Okay. 4 covers. I don't think they've done 4 covers in the past. We've had 3.
No, I was wondering about that. Yeah.
We have 4 covers. We have the Frank Miller cover, this beautiful George Paydez piece right here, which, interesting enough, one of my viewers commented and said that was a piece that he had commissioned, but he couldn't afford it or he had to sell it because I can't remember exactly what happened. Some unfortunate events happened in his life, but now it's a cover.
Which one is that? The middle one?
Yeah, the George Perez one.
Perez cover.
And then the house ad cover. I love that they're doing a Sal Buscema house ad cover. And then this cover right here, which is going to be your main cover. So that's the standard cover right there. And then you have all 3 of these are your direct market covers. So $125, 704 pages with a total of 3. Well, we can assume 3 Omnis.
Yeah, that's
so it's a big deal. It's a huge deal for anybody that has been wondering what this is. You know, I've mentioned before that people my age and older will probably be really excited about something like this coming to Marvel. It's never been reprinted in anything. There has been no collected edition of this, and now it's getting fully restored. Letter pages. I don't know if Corey's team is handling this one. I know they're handling Micronauts. I think you have to choose between this or Micronauts. But yes, Micronauts is also coming. Not in this previews, but in the next. I'm sure in the next one.
It's just so interesting how back in the day, Marvel had no resistance to integrating these licensed properties into the Marvel universe because, ROM meets the Jack of Hearts. And, like a lot of us, I imagine you got into it through the X-Men issues when ROM finally found the X-Men. Or then he fought the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants without the X-Men. And they followed with Nova in here. It's a lot. So it's a good size.
Well, the Nova story wraps up the Nova run on Marv Wolfman's run. Yeah, because that wasn't collected in the Omnibus.
No, we have nothing else to do with Nova. We'll stick him in ROM. Incredible.
So I'm just go ahead, Curtis.
Do you know in this? I mean, you may not know, but in ROM Omnibus Volume 2, which will eventually come out, ROM meets up with Master of Kung Fu characters. Yeah. Do you know, because some of those are also licensed characters, do you know if that issue is going to be a problem?
I don't know
what
you're talking about.
What? I can't hear the answer.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh,
okay.
That's all I can say right now.
Curtis, you nerd.
Okay, in a hypothetical Volume 2, there are going to be other issues of things that couldn't be reprinted. In a hypothetical.
Will it contain the crossover with Legion of Superheroes?
No, nobody with a credible following would cross over with the Legion of Superheroes.
That would be awesome.
ROM and Legion of Superheroes would actually have been a good idea.
You two need to get a room and talk about Legion of Superheroes. I swear. Not even Supergirl could save the Legion of Superheroes. All right. So that is a big deal, and we'll come back to that one in a little bit to talk more about the importance of what that particular omnibus means. Marvel's we're getting the Master Edition now. For anybody that collected these when we were young, you were not mistaken. They were originally published like this in a landscape format, not like this. And they had the binder. So you can put these in a binder. You collected them like trading cards. And I was a sucker for these things. I collected because they would come in different packs. So this is the first one. This collects A through L. And you have the Avengers over here. That's your direct market cover. And then you have, I guess, yes, G, H, D, D through G, maybe. But collecting the Master Edition 1 through 36, 888 pages, $100. And the kickoff to the Daredevil celebration is February 1964, celebrating 60 years of Daredevil. I hinted when I announced this that is this going to be the only Daredevil omnibus coming out? No, it is not. And this collects pretty much everything that was released that particular month when Daredevil #1 launched. So it's very similar to 61, 62, and 63. So this collects the Amazing Spider-Man #12, Daredevil #1, of course, Fantastic Four 26, Journey into Mystery 103, Kid Colt Outlaw 116, Millie the Model 120, Modeling with Millie #30, Patsy Walker 114, Strange Tales 120, Tales of Suspense 53, Tales to Astonish 55, Two Gun Kid 69, Avengers 5, Patsy and Hetty 94, Rawhide Kid, one day we'll get that, #40, and Sergeant Fury #7, and X-Men #5, 480 pages, $100. So this, if you get X-Men, if you get Fantastic Four, if you get Thor, if you get Spider-Man, this is a lot of double dipping.
So when are we getting our Millie the Model omnibus that obviously needs to get also with Patsy Walker that needs to be omnibized?
Well, Jess, have you been buying these? Because that's the way to do it. You got to buy these to get that Millie the Model omnibus. If you're not buying these, you're not fighting the good cause, dude.
Please, everybody knows that I sacrifice for them.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody can get everything in Omni. I'm the one that buys everything else.
Oh, you get the trade paperback so people can have their omnibus. This
It is it's quite amazing that 50% of what Marvel was putting out at the time was Millie the Model and Westerns.
Yes.
That's
and
quite amazing.
It's really cool to see that transition happen too. Like compare this to 61 with Fantastic Four #1. Like 90% of the things in Fantastic in 1961 hadn't been reprinted. This is about 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because they talk about the dominance of superheroes in comic books, and sometimes it's less about superheroes dominating. It's just all other things, or many other things have died off. They don't make Western comics anymore. They don't make modeling comics anymore. Yeah.
I am here for both of those.
I do think they do make them though. I mean, from time to time,
not the quantity that they did.
Oh no! But I mean, we also don't have war comics in the quantity
exactly.
that they did.
Yeah.
So I mean, it definitely has changed. We're looking at this is the era of superheroes. Who knows where we'll be in 60 years? Maybe we can go back to Millie the Model 1000 and they can bring her back and.
Millie the Model 2099.
I was just thinking, I'm like, give me 2099.
You know what's funny is that Marvel Age book showed of things like it's funny because the Spider-Man 2099 omnibus has all these extras, and one of the extras in the back is that Marvel Age book where they were like, don't expect any of these characters to show up in 2099 before you even ask. And one of them was Patsy. I think it was Patsy Walker, but the one that cracked me up was Squirrel Girl. And I was like, oh, times have changed because I'm sure Squirrel Girl 2099 will come out one day.
I would read that.
I'm not even being sarcastic when I say I want to see Millie the Model and Patsy Walker and West.
Honestly, a lot of people, again, you know, it's usually the older generation that appreciates or wants stories collected like that. I said older, not oldest, and and they also want like a lot of the Westerns collected, like Two Gun Kid and Rawhide Kid. I would be all over that. And Jeff agrees totally with you. Thank you for that, Jeff. And he also said Legion of Superheroes rules. Nightcrawler was to be a Legionnaire. Yes, he was.
That's true.
There are dozens of us.
Thank goodness he got stuck on a book that didn't get canceled, though.
Oh,
well, after he appeared, to be fair, they get canceled before Nightcrawler joined. So
yeah. Which is funny because X-Men had been canceled. Well, not canceled, put in a reprint.
That's not funny.
Jess, will you be using Millie the Model as your blueprint for life from this point forward?
If I get it, yeah.
Okay. You could do worse. You could do much worse. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, moving on. Spider-Man Ben Reilly Omnibus Volume 2 coming back to print. You all voted for this, and Marvel listened. Oh my goodness. So wow, the Ben Reilly. By the way, they also sent me this information but these are both John Romita Jr. covers. They did have a Luke Ross as the standard edition cover. I think that was just a slip up on their end. But when I announced it, I made it JR because, well, yeah, those are the covers that he did. So this collects the remaining of the Clone Saga. So if you're keeping tabs, this would be like Clone Saga Volume 4. But they renamed it to Ben Reilly Volume 2. It's got the whole Revelation story arc in there. And it's got, when you see this right here, the Spider-Man Revelations, they actually added some pages to the Revelations trade paperback when it came out. So it was, do you remember, Curtis? Was it like 4 or 5 pages? It wasn't a lot of story that they added to that crossover.
I don't remember. It was just a few pages. It wasn't very much. It's like, because I think, what was it? It wrapped up in a different issue, or I can't remember. It's the same thing that happened with the Korvac Saga trade.
That they had to fatten it up.
Pages.
Mm-hmm. They voted for number 1, and Volume 1 is coming out in December, I believe. Yeah, I think it's December of this year. And then the Marvel Studios Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the art of the movie, and a book that was also voted to get reprinted, but now expanded. So this is Thor, the Straczynski and Gillen omnibus now. All right, so let's talk about the content, because when I announced this, I don't think it had one thing that we did ask if they could add, and it looks like they did. So this has Fantastic Four 536 to 537, Thor 1 through 12, 600 to 614. There's not a missing gap. That's just what they do. They renumbered them to the classic numbers. So after 12 comes 600. So that's 2 celebrations, like one after another. And then annual number 1, the Siege Giant Size Finale 1 through 4, or I'm sorry, Thor Giant Size Finale. They added Siege 1 through 4. So there you go. There's your answer for the people that have asked if I could ask them to add that. They did. And that's not the only thing they added, because I also asked if they could add this, but we'll get there here in a second. The director's cut of Siege, Loki, and then New Mutants number 11, which is the crossover, Secret Invasion Aftermath Beta Ray Bill, the Green of Eden, and Beta Ray Bill God Hunters, what I asked if they could also add. And they did. And then Dark Reign material, the Cabal one shot. So here you go. $125, 1,144 pages. So it's expanded from the expanded omnibus that I already announced. You all asked if I could ask, and they did. They added Siege in here, which surprised me because I really thought Siege would be big enough to be its own event.
I am 100% getting this.
Do you? Yes, I'm sorry. If you have the original one, they're not using the covers from the original one, at least. Like the Michael Turner direct market cover is not there. They're using the Quapel covers. So, yeah.
I want that book.
So it's huge, man. It's going to be big. If you've never read it, this is a big gap filler between the Thor by Jurgens Volume 2, because that also contains the Michael Avon Oming Ragnarok story, and then Thor was canceled. There was no more Thor comics for a few years. And then JMS brought him back. And then this leads into Matt Fraction's run of Thor. So you have a big consecutive run of Thor in omnibus format, beginning with the Heroes Return era of Dan Jurgens' run, because after Fraction's run is Jason Aaron's run. And there's your little mini reading order. All right.
I think
let's
for Thor. Sorry, just before we move on to Thor.
Yeah.
Coming up a few months after this book comes out, the very first Thor Modern Era Epic Collection is coming out, which is the start of this run as well. And so I guess this is probably a good look at how they are going to collect the Modern Era Epic collections.
You just have to throw that in there, didn't you? Had to take my thunder from me and mention an epic. Talking about omnis right now. Stay in your lane, Curtis.
This is my lane.
I love you, buddy. All right. Something that has already been released in epic format and now coming into omnibus format, celebrating 50 years of this guy, Iron Fist Danny Rand. Now, this is one that people did ask me to add a few things. I don't know if they did or not. So if you're watching, I hope they added some of the things that you all wanted. All right, so here we go. Collecting Marvel Premiere 15 through 25, Iron Fist 1 through 15, Marvel Team Up 63 and 64, then material from Deadly Hands of Kung Fu 10, 18 through 24, 29, 31 through 33, Deadly Kung Fu Special number 1, and Bizarre Adventures number 25. Curtis,
That's a combination of the two trades, combination of the Iron Fist Epic Collection and then also Iron Fist Master of Kung Fu. I'm sorry, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu.
But that wasn't an epic, though, correct?
No, it wasn't an epic, but it was a trade of all of his black and white adventures. So this is a combination of those two trades.
Okay, thank you. Okay. $125, 952 pages, and celebrating 50 years. So if you have this and you have Luke Cage, you got your fingers crossed that you'll get a Power Man and Iron Fist Omnibus one day. That would be cool. Daredevil coming out with his new gallery edition, Born Again. So very happy to have this in a bigger format. Mazzucchelli's artwork. Oh, I love this story. I think to a lot of people, this is regarded as the best Daredevil story. And it's great. I loved it. I don't know if it sticks to the landing, though. I remember always having a problem with the ending. I said what I said, Lars.
It's funny you mentioned that because I thought I was the only one.
Oh, really? Okay, because
it was a brilliantly nuanced, thoughtful story that at the very last minute decides to be this epic battle with Nuke. And then and I was like, what? No, I kind of agree with you. That last issue is a bit off-putting for me. But it's great otherwise. It's great otherwise.
Yeah. Curtis, Ødfel, Jess, have y'all read Born Again?
I haven't.
I read it
no.
Okay.
I read it years ago, and I honestly don't remember that last issue, so I'm going to have to revisit this.
Okay.
Same. I remember liking it a lot. I don't remember that last issue, but I'm going to go grab it and read it right after this.
Well, it's not like that it ruins the whole thing. It just, I think as Omar says, it's going along doing wonderfully. And then the 11th hour, it's just, that could have been better.
Yeah, I haven't read it in a couple of years, but the last time I did, I remember thinking the same thing. I was expecting some kind of masterful ending, but I hope so.
Well, I mean,
not an Omni though. It has been released. This story has been released in omnibus format. It's been released in the Daredevil by Frank Miller companion omnibus.
Yeah, and I will not spoil it, but I'm saying that the central dilemma presented in the story early on, you think deserves a fairly thoughtful, nuanced response, and it's just, well, I'll just start punching things and it'll be fine. It's like, well, that could have been better. Could have been better.
I think whenever I say,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say whenever I say I want to start reading Daredevil, this is always one of the arcs people suggest most. So it's definitely iconic, if nothing else. But
no, it's great,
and it's shorter than the Miller run, which is also great, but takes more energy.
Wow, Omar throwing shade at Born Again, but claims year 2 is great. I didn't say this was a bad story. I just said didn't stick to its landing. It's a great story. Year 2 is awesome. I stand by that.
Oh my God, Batman with guns.
Oh my gosh, when Scott Snyder does it, it's super cool. When Mike W. Barr does it, it's no, Batman can't use a gun. Man has to know how to use a gun. Anyway, look, if it wasn't for year 2, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it for the people in the back. If it wasn't for year 2, we would not have the greatest Batman movie ever, Mask of the Phantasm. Now, I'm going to be quiet because this is a Marvel thing.
That is a pretty great movie.
Yeah, now everybody shut up. All right, Marvel Masterworks, Daredevil Volume 18. Speaking of Daredevil, collecting issues 192 to 203. So now we're beyond the Frank Miller era. Marvel Fanfare 10 through 13 and issue number 7. So Dennis O'Neil takes over the run, correct? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dennis O'Neil, Ralph Macchio, and Larry Hama, Stephen Grant, Bill Mantlo. Wow, it's a lot of creators here. Probably a lot of them in that Marvel Fanfare. So,
Daredevil always slightly has the problem that Frank Miller does the definitive version so strongly that it's kind of like there's Frank Miller Daredevil and then everything after Frank Miller Daredevil. Now, I've started of late trying to read the Ann Nocenti run, which I haven't. and people say it's quite good. So I'm giving that a shot, but it's taking me some time. Yeah.
I liked that run. It was so different, but it goes in some incredibly wacky places.
It was to say this is the awkward post Frank Miller phase, but Dennis O'Neill's very good. So,
yeah, and I always hear that about Andesenti's run too when people are talking about how awkward and hokey it is, because everybody compares it to the Frank Miller era,
which is
it was so gritty, right? And it's a good run.
It is.
All right.
I own in epics besides Star Wars.
Well, also sometimes there's no point in trying to be Frank Miller if you're not Frank Miller. I think Nesenti does better, being Nesenti.
Yep.
I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, I agree with that. Guardians of the Galaxy. I am so excited to read this because of the 2 creators. Actually, the 3 creators. Oh, look at that. And the 4 people on this book. This collects the first 5 issues of the new series. And these are the same gentlemen that worked on Captain America, which I freaking loved. It was such a good read. Kev Walker is one of my favorite pencilers coming out of the 2000 AD, those books from the UK, but he's been an amazing penciler. He's worked on Thunderbolts, he's worked on Avengers Arena, he's done some X-Men stuff, and now he's the new penciler on Guardians of the Galaxy. And Guardians needs a good book. Have you read this, Ødfel?
I've read the first issue of it. I haven't continued yet, but all my friends have been raving about it. And saying like this is one of Gamora's strongest stories in a long time. But I haven't gotten far yet, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about this new run.
It really feels like since the movies came out, and I like the movies, that they were like, we have to make the characters feel and sound like movie characters, which the perfect person to do that was Bendis. That's why like Bendis's Guardians is such a fresh take for a lot of people, because it's not really like the previous incarnations of the Guardians. And I liked Al Ewing's run. I thought Al Ewing's run was awesome because it definitely feels like old school, and you throw in some of this newer, like I guess movie like dialogue. What's up, Brian? How are you, brother? Omar and Jess, the dynamic duo, together again. And Curtis, I like the haircut. Thank you for the super chat.
Curtis, let me say that I think the haircut makes you look hotter as well. Yes.
Thanks. That's what I was going for.
That for the Lars Hotter approval. That's what we all strive to go for.
It's not hard. It's not hard to achieve.
He can't help with the ratings. He worked at Wizard Magazine. So.
I said he looked hotter, but that was in the green room. So I saved my stuff for privately.
This completely ignores Ewing's run. Gosh dang it. Shut up, Max. Don't ruin this for me. Are you serious? And by the way, if Jess and I are the dynamic duo, I am, let's see, I'm Wolverine and he's Jubilee. I am Batman and he is Jason Todd Robin.
Please.
I'm Captain America and he's Jack Monroe Nomad.
I'm Superman and you are like that weird combination of Juggernaut and Colossus, whenever that happened, which was weird.
That's not even in the same universe, dude.
I know. I can mix up the universe.
Well, now you're just getting silly.
Yeah, you're just ridiculous.
Oh my god, you're Jason
Todd.
Todd.
Have a serious conversation with you.
You're Jason Todd, and I'm the Joker.
Fine, I'm the crowbar. Wait, I'm Jason Todd and the crowbar.
You skipped something.
No, I didn't. It's the Guardians cover.
Oh, what? Okay, good.
I love this new Gamora look, though. It's so good.
Yeah, I love her classic look. Is that Mantis? Like Mantis has a new look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mantis with like a bob haircut. It's so good.
Man and Batmite. I'm not asking who's who. Omar is the cranberry juice if he's loving bed. Okay, fine. Jess can be the bourbon. Captain America Cold War Aftermath. So this is the crossover with Captain America, the symbol of truth. And what is the one with Sam called? They have 2 Captain America comics. Anyway, this is the big crossover with them. So collecting the symbol of truth 14 and Captain America 750 and Captain America Finale. 120 pages, $15.99. Warlock Rebirth always makes me happy to see that guy. And look who's back there. It's Legacy. He's also back. Wow. Warlock Rebirth by Ron Mars and Ron Lim. Look at those, man. That's awesome. Pip the Troll. And you got Gamora. I assume this takes place in the past.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I figured I'd read this when it's all out. Some of these retro series, I just enjoy them better. You can read them all at once.
Yeah, they did that a couple years back, the retro series.
Yeah.
Predator, Volume 2, the Ed Brisson series. I really like the first mini, or I thought it was an ongoing, but this collects Predator 2023 1 through 5. Okay, fine. Jess is Jason Todd. I'm the 900 number.
And then O'Neill.
Exactly.
There we go. Planet of the Apes. Dude, this cover is awesome.
Oh, no. That's good.
So this is the Planet of the Apes. This is the Marvel stuff. Issues 1 through 5 and $19.99. David Walker, Dave Watcher, and 128 pages. And Spider-Verse, Edge of the Spider-Verse, Bleeding Edge. So this is, oh my gosh, we've already had an Edge of Spider-Verse series, and then we had another Edge of Spider-Verse series in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is the newest one, 2023. What's up, Lionheart? How are you, brother? You playing that Street Fighter 6? You playing that Street Fighter 6? I'm sorry, I forgot to do this earlier. Dang it.
It's just wild to me.
There we go. That's better.
Because the one that came out in 2022.
Comments don't cover your face. Go ahead, Ødfel.
Oh, you're fine. The one that came out in 2022, they kept plugging it as like, this is the final Spider-Verse story. Like, there will not be another Spider-Verse story. This is it. We're wrapping it up. So for there to be a 2023 one, I'm intrigued, but also like, okay.
What isn't that the point of Dan Slott's new series with Mark Bagley to put an end to the Spider-Verse?
I'm not.
I think that's
sure.
that's how it was marketed. So okay, we're jumping into Venomverse now, but I do love that cover, Extreme Venomverse. So this collects Extreme Venomverse 1 through 5. Not to be soon released in Marvel Modern Epic format. Sorry, Curtis. This might be a while, buddy.
Oh, Venom's popular. They'll pump it up pretty quick.
That he is. Hallows Eve, his character spun out of the Zeb Wells era of Spider-Man. Collecting the 5-issue miniseries. The Gold Goblin had a miniseries that came out this month, or in June. That one's written by Christopher Cantwell. I really like his stuff. And speaking of Christopher Cantwell, here is Hellcat spinning out of the series of Iron Man that he did. I really like that series. I was hoping that he would keep going.
I totally want to read this.
Iron Man Hellcat Annual 1 and Hellcat 1 through 5. So I'm sure it's going to wrap up a lot of the stories.
Is that her first solo since like 2015? Because I feel like it's been a while.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. They try to make it, they try to make her work. It just for some reason she didn't, but I really like what Christopher Cantwell was doing in the pages of Iron Man. So I'm hoping
that's exciting.
We'll see some kind of big collection of his stuff. I don't think, and this is Felix, I agree with that. I haven't read anything by Christopher Cantwell I have not enjoyed. His independent stuff and his Marvel stuff has been solid.
I agree.
Hallows Eve is surprisingly good since Dark Web was stupid. Yeah, I thought it was stupid fun. Like you throw that many clones in New York City, you know things are gonna go get wrecked. And they're saying that this is her first series since then. Yes, so you are correct, Ødfel.
That's been a hot minute then.
Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, Volume 6, Dead Language Part 2, collecting issues 24 through 26, Spider-Man Annual Number 1, Fallen Friend Number 1, and Free Comic Book Day 2023 Spider-Man Venom. This is the collection that will have the controversial story that got leaked everywhere. Everywhere.
I'm a little confused on whether it was leaked or not, because it seemed to be from one of the more reputable sources, which Marvel must have told.
Oh, yeah, it was leaked on purpose, I'm sure.
Leaked on purpose, yeah. Well, but it wasn't leaked. It was given to them to talk about, I would think.
But the way it came across, it was like, hey, we have the last page in this really fuzzy format. It wasn't supposed to be given to us. And that's the way most places sold it as. So that's why I went with leaked.
Could be.
Star Wars, Scoundrels, Rebels, and the Empire, collecting Return of the Jedi, Jabba's Palace, Ewoks, Lando, the Empire, the Rebellion, and Max Rebo. $29.99. So this is the new era of Star Wars. 216. Spider-Gwen's Shadow Clones. This is not collected in the Omnibus, nor in Omnibus Volume 2 that is coming out. So collecting the 5-issue miniseries by Emily Kim and Kei Zama. Wolverine, Fighting Beast by Benjamin Percy, Volume 6, collecting issues 31 through 36. Why didn't they get the title Spider-Man, the rise of everyone's favorite character, Paul? False, John.
I keep reading this series and I enjoy it, even though I think the way they've treated the Beast character is kind of unconscionable. But you know, it's quality stuff.
I feel like it really depends on if you like Beast, because it is hard watching him become a war criminal, but he's had arcs pretty
yeah. But here he basically becomes Mengele. He's become Mengele. And that's for Hank McCoy, that's a problem.
Without going into spoilers, there's rumors that it would all be explained if it's revealed that he is the Dark Beast.
Oh, sure. Oh, no, absolutely. Well, that's not a spoiler. That's just speculation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Bar's here. And so is her clone, the Stoppable Bar, also here. So I'm glad to have both of you here.
Clones, Bar.
Which one's the real Bar, though? That's the real question. Whose identity was stolen? X-Men Red by Al Ewing, Volume 3. Still enjoying the series, collecting issues 11 through 13. And Before the Fall, Heralds of Apocalypse.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I would gladly buy a hardcover of it.
And Cosmic Ghost Rider, Dual Identity. This is the new series by Stephanie Phillips.
Ooh,
collecting issues 1 through 5. And Stephanie Phillips, she's the lady that wrote Harley Quinn, right?
Harley Quinn, yeah, and very well.
Excellent. That's just a seal of approval right there. Excellent, which is the continuation of Ecstatics. This is now Volume 2, collecting Excellent 1 through 5, the 2023 series on social media. The same creative team, Mike Allred and Peter Milligan. She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell, Volume 3. I really liked Volume 2. I liked where it went.
Totally agree.
Dude, when she snapped on the readers, that was so unexpected. I was like, whoa. She just dropped the GD bomb. But it's funny because I read that right after reading the Epic collection where they had to censor stuff back then with the comics code. So, yeah, I really dig it. And thank you so much. Very fine condition. The cream rises to the top, I see. Nice to see OmniDog keeping this channel alive. Jess, if you don't quit creating all these dummy accounts, you know what? I'll take Yeah, right.
I don't know how to do that. You're giving me way too much credit. Thank you. This is obviously a very intelligent fan of mine. So peace and love. Very fine condition.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that.
No, you don't.
Echo. The Saga Maya Lopez. So these Saga books are thick books. They're like epic collections. Actually, they're like this. They're like these type of books. This is the complete Donny Cates Doctor Strange. They are almost as thick as Epic. Sometimes they are just as thick as Epic collections. So this collects her first appearance through Daredevil 9 through 15, and then 51 through 55. So David Mack, Joe Quesada, and then Jimmy Palmiotti. And yeah,
doubtless for the Echo TV show.
Correct. Which unfortunately, I think I heard it got postponed.
I think so. Well, they're reshuffling a lot of their TV.
Lars, this is comments for you. Lars, love Wizard back in the day. Has Liefeld blocked you on social media or anyone you know from Wizard magazine?
I think he has, but not me. Again, I have actually had dinner with Rob Liefeld, but you know whether he would remember this or not, I don't know, because if I was him and I'd had dinner with me, I probably wouldn't remember me. But
he remembers you.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I'm lucky you all remember me right now as I'm talking to you. I've not been blocked, but that's probably because he doesn't remember that I'm alive.
That's sad.
Lars, you're putting yourself down so hard, man.
Well, it's just the way of things. But yes, I have had dinner with Rob Liefeld. Have any of the rest of you had dinner with Rob Liefeld?
No, but I am blocked on Twitter.
Oh, all of Twitter or just him?
What did you dress up as to get blocked?
Rob Liefeld blocked you.
I interacted with Gail Simone on a post that was low-key dissing him, and he blocked me.
Wow.
Well done. Well done.
Whoa.
I have met him a couple of times, and I've always had a good interaction with him. But I never had an issue with his artwork.
I'd like to have dinner with Gail Simone. Just putting it out there.
You could take that up with her husband. Maybe arrange something.
He can come too. I don't want to talk to him, but he can come.
You don't want to talk to him. He can just watch you talk to his wife. All right, that could work.
Questions.
He can come too, but only if he sits in the corner.
We have a She-Hulk fan that does not like Rainbow Rowell's She-Hulk.
Rainbow
Rowell's She-Hulk.
Please block this person. Put him in timeout.
But he's the one that super chatted us that Jess is keeping this channel alive.
No. That was very fine condition. Don't try and tie those two together.
Shut up, Bar. I did that on purpose.
You did.
Incredible Hulk Epic. Wait, did I skip this one? No, that's the saga.
No.
Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, Volume 8, The Curing of Dr. Banner. Spoilers. Doesn't stay cured for long. Curtis, now you're in your lane, Curtis. Tell us about this book. What does this collect? What is this?
This is Incredible Hulk. What is it? 201 to 226. This is right before we get into the Mantlo stuff, and so we have Roger Stern kind of wrapping up his run and such. And just if you love 1970s, I think this is actually the final volume of the 1970s Hulk. With this Epic Collection, we will have all of it from the 60s and 70s collected in Epic Collections. And this is kind of the definitive Hulk. If if you know stuff like from the TV show and that kind of thing, it's what made it popular.
All right, excellent.
128 pages. It's a big one.
Yeah, I remember when you and I broke down the prices of these, what would make one go over $54, and I think wasn't it like $5.40? We were like, I think that's when the price goes up to $54.99. Like the last Star Wars book, right?
Surely it's a mystery that can never be solved. That's which price it is.
No, I think we solved it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I think we solved it. All right, Moon Knight Epic Collection. What's so big about this one, Curtis?
Well, when this one was announced, it was important because it was the era that comes right after the first Moon Knight Mark Spector Omnibus.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's uncollected stuff we haven't seen. But since this has been announced, now we have the announcement of another Moon Knight Mark Spector Omnibus. So the people who are buying the Omnis don't have to wait. They don't have to pick this one up because your stuff is coming.
Your stuff is coming. And thank you for the super chat, John. And here's a She-Hulk fan who loves Rowell's run. There we go. Life, man. The universe just balances it out. Some people don't like something. Other people love it.
Moon Knight's had such a choppy publishing history that for a time they can keep banging these out and not flood the market because there's just not that many of them.
Dude, Moon Knight is so well collected in omnibus format.
Yes. Yeah.
Like there's a small gap in between the Vengeance of Moon Knight and I guess no, that's the most modern because we're having this one, and then after this one, we just need a couple of. Dang it, where would they put that Marvel Knight stuff? I guess it would have to be in the second volume. Maybe we have to ask about that, see if those could be added. But yeah, consecutive, like from the beginning of his origin to the modern era, right before the Warren Ellis stuff. Brian Wood, was it Ed Brisson and Jeff Lemire, Brian Michael Bendis, that era, and then of course that all leads into Jed McKay.
Yeah.
Cullen Bunn.
That was it. Thank you. I heard somebody say Cullen Bunn. Yeah, all right, here we go, Curtis. Your favorite time. Reprints.
Yeah, no, this is one that's asked for quite often. It's the second half of the Ditko run, the original Amazing Spider-Man, the early
Mhm.
years, and so hasn't been reprinted before, I think. So this is kind of the first time it's coming back to print, so people will be happy about that. The first volume, of course, has been reprinted a few times, so everyone can complete their set of Ditko Spider-Man.
So collecting issues 18 through 38 and Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 2, 504 pages, $49.99. And then we're also getting a new printing of volume 2 of Daredevil. And
Yeah, this is
Mike
also
Murdoch
one
was
that
not-
people have been asking. This is one that what people have been asking for a lot as well, because it went out quite a while ago, actually. And this is early stuff with Gene Colan and Jack Kirby. People love this era of Daredevil.
and collecting issues 22 to 41, Annual 1, and Fantastic Four 73, material from Nob Brand.
Nice.
4. All right, now for our modern epic collection, one that we knew about.
Yeah, this one was on the schedule for November, it says, but I think it got bumped up. They just recently changed the dates online on Penguin Random House's website to October, so I think it got bumped up a couple of weeks. But anyway,
okay.
this is Spider-Man, Deadpool, Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 1. This you'll see in here. What does it say? It says collects the series
Spider-Man,
numbers
Deadpool.
1 to 14 and 17 and 18, and there's a gap in there because there was a crossover, and this title had a notoriously late publication schedule, and so they just plowed ahead with the crossover with the other 3 Deadpool titles at the time, and then called it issues 15 and 16, and then just carried the other storyline that hadn't been completed yet in issues 17 and 18. So I'm hoping that we'll see those missing issues in volume 2. They'll just place it in continuity order.
Are
I think
these
we will.
are these modern era epics the same size as regular era epics? Or are they
Yes.
larger?
They're
the same.
They're actually a little smaller. It seems that they're usually around 400 to 450 pages.
Oh, you
So
mean the
Slightly.
thickness of them?
I actually meant, are they comparable to oversized hardcover size or
No. They're standard size. They're standard size trades.
They look seriously, they look great, like on the shelf next to your I don't have one near me, but they look great next to the Epic collections. Like you can't even tell there's a difference unless you pay attention to the small logo. Here, I'm going to highlight Kurtis so he can show you.
Okay.
So like the one in the middle right there, that's your Marvel Modern Epic. And you can barely tell unless you look up at the top, you can see Marvel Modern Epic collection.
Oh, that is a nice haircut.
What the fudge?
Are you feeling turned
Thank
on?
you very much.
Oh my gosh, you too, I swear.
I don't know.
You and your Legion
My
of Superheroes.
camera is very HD today. I don't know why.
Oh, I can see enough. I see what I like.
All right, well, that's enough of that. Back to the catalog.
Why do you think we were reading Legion of Superheroes? Everyone was dating everyone else.
Oh, we need to have another episode with that topic. Legion of Superheroes.
We need to do a two-minute panel on Legion. Yeah.
I would love that.
Okay.
X-Men, X-Verse, X-Women. What a title. Collecting Marvel Girl 1, Uncanny Origins 9, Uncanny X-Men 143. Hey, that's John Byrne's final issue. I love that issue. Uncanny X-Men First Class 4. Oh, okay. Women of Marvel number 1 and Marvel Voices Indigenous Voices. So it's just a different eras of origins or solo stories featuring the ladies of X-Men.
I like that the cover is the new cartoons outfits as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna start.
Oh, is that what they look like?
Yeah, those are the X-Men. What is it? It's not X-Men 92. Is it 97? Is the new show?
97. Mm-hmm.
Those are the X-Men 97 designs. So I bet we start seeing kind of rollouts of things for inevitable new fans of the cartoon to then be able to find, which this will be great. So
isn't Squirrel Girl a X-Men
X-Men.
No, but I think she is a mutant. I mean, she counts as a mutant, but she's not an object.
She is a mutant, but nobody invited her to Krakoa.
Yeah, I don't believe she's living in Krakoa. X-Men 143, that was my first comic ever, weirdly.
Really? Oh,
Right.
so you got a special place in your heart. That's a good one, man.
It does. You never forget your first time. Yeah.
That's a good one. Wait a minute. So, oh my gosh, that's
so she is an Inhuman, I think.
That's Orson Welles.
Did she become an Inhuman? Yeah.
She is in the Marvel Rising show, at least. I don't know if she is in the comics.
Oh my gosh, that's drunk Orson Welles. I love your car. Oh, the French fun. I love that. That commercial's so brilliant.
Someone asked, would Squirrel Girl beat Wolverine? She's undefeatable.
Yeah. She is unbeatable. I think. Yeah, she's unbeatable. She beat Thanos. She beat Silver Surfer.
She beat
Wait, did you just say Thanos?
Thanos.
Finally correcting your mispronunciation. How do you say Lane Wayne now?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna do this on live air. You're just as bad as Melanie. Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The Fantastic Four, Volume 3. It started on Yancey Street, collecting issues 21 through 29. I'm so glad that these are coming out. What I haven't seen in the last couple of months, and we'll go back to the beginning for anybody that missed this, but before I do, check out waltzcomicshop.com. They're based out of Berlin, Germany, and they have big discounts, cheapest pre-order prices for DC and Marvel big books within the EU. Flash shipping rates of 12 euros for all EU countries, and all emails will be answered within 24 hours. And you go to waltzcomicshop.com, you tell them near mint condition at the checkout, all one word, near mint condition. You get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over 40 euros or more. It's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting. And there's my song. What I haven't seen in this or in the last 2 months has been the anthologies of X-Men. Trials of X was the last one we saw. I haven't seen any since. It's been a couple of months, so I'm wondering what's going on. I hope they continue those because I really like reading X-Men that way. It's been
like Reign of X style ones.
Yeah, the big anthology series, Reign of X, and then Trials of X, and I assume was going to be the Destiny of X, and then Fall of X. So I hope they continue those. But I haven't seen them in this catalog or in this solicits, and I hadn't seen them in 2 months. So,
I like those anthologies a lot.
Now I'm not starting any rumors. I'm not saying they're canceled because we have seen some.
Why did they cancel them? What?
You're in the wrong channel, Jess. Don't be just starting rumors here.
You just said they canceled it.
No, I did not. The original Marvel years. What's that? I'm sorry. What was that?
I like them, but admittedly don't buy them. So I can sort of see how the readership might have dropped off over time, but maybe not.
Was that the last one? Are we already reviewing everything?
Yeah, that was it. Now we're reviewing everything.
Oh.
So Rom, coming back, the original Marvel years, Omnibus Volume 1. Then we'll talk about what we're most excited for, and then apparently I got to go get a vaccination. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe Master Edition, Omnibus Volume 1 for all those kids in the 90s. That's when these originally came out, 91 to 19. So it must have been 91 to 93 when those came out. The February 1964 Omnibus, the reprint of Spider-Man Ben Reilly Volume 2, The Art of Wakanda Forever, and the big one, previously unannounced, they added some books to Thor. We'll go back to those in a little bit. And Iron Fist, Danny Rand, the original years Omnibus, both covers, $125, 952 pages. Why am I seeing so much ROM recently? I only found out about it a week ago. You'll have your heyday, Bar. I'm sure there'll be an omnibus one day I get to announce of what's Phineas and Ferb or whatever you watched in your when you were younger, like whatever the equivalent of ROM is to you in your generation. Phineas and Ferb, right? That was about. Maybe you're too old for that. Beavis and Butthead omnibus, maybe. No, you're too young for that. I don't know. Where are you, Bar?
I want one of those. I would like that.
Got it. Kim Possible Omnibus. That's the equivalent. You're Kim Possible Omnibus. Hannah
I would buy
Montana.
that so fast. I would buy that so fast.
Oh my god!
Impossible.
Kim Possible. Do. All right, Marvel Masterworks, Daredevil. I remember watching it with Melanie's little cousin. Daredevil Volume 18 and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Grootfall. Digging that cover. Captain America Cold War Aftermath. Warlock Rebirth and the Predator Volume 2. And Wizards of Wave. Okay, quit.
Winx Club. Whoever said that's a real one.
Winx Club. Oh no.
I love Winx Club.
You youth. Planet of the Apes. This is the new series by Marvel. Edge of Spider-Verse. This is the new trade paperback from 2023. Extreme Venomverse. I love that cover. And Lionel Francis Yu. Oh, really? Winx Club is getting an omnibus confirmed. No, give it about 10 years. So people will be like, so then young people can be like, what's Winx Club? I don't get it. Why are people making such a big deal about Winx Club? Hallows Eve trade paperback. Hellcat. The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6 is the Seb Wells era. The Star Wars Scoundrels, Rebels, and the Empire. And Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones. Wolverine Volume 6. X-Men Red Volume 3. Is that the Ken? Is it growing horns? Who is that? Nah, spoilers. Don't answer that question. Cosmic Ghost Rider, Dual Identity. Hey, Omar, please ask Marvel about Destiny of X anthologies. It isn't going to happen. I just want confirmation of that so I can buy the single title trade paperbacks. I will ask and see what they say. I haven't heard, not that anybody really officially cancels anything, but I haven't heard that they are discontinuing that line. Excellence Volume 2, She-Hulk Volume 3, it's the Rainbow Rowell era, Echo Saga of Maya Lopez. Take it away, Curtis. What are we looking at now?
Incredible Hulk Epic Collection Volume, 9? 8? The Curing of Dr. Banner.
And
great stuff from around Incredible Hulk 200. Yeah. Moon Knight Epic Collection Volume 7, Death Watch. Getting into the middle of it. There's one more volume after this, brings us to the end of Moon Knight, and then there should be the Vengeance of Moon Knight miniseries and a few other extras.
The Stephen Platt era, if you will.
Yes.
Corey Strode saying Jen Grunwald confirmed Trials of X is the last one due to low sales. She is one of the collected edition editors, so I don't know. So maybe they did, but I haven't heard, but I'll ask to make sure.
He's saying
Spider-Man
Trails of X one had low sales. I agree. Trails of X, not good. Trials of X, good.
Stop it. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, Great Responsibility, Volume 2. I'm sorry, Curtis. Go ahead, Curtis.
Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, Great Responsibility, Trade Paperback Volume 2, new printing. For those Steve Ditko fans out there. And then Daredevil Epic Collection, Mike Murdock Must Die is Volume 2, new printing. For all of you Gene Colan and Jack Kirby fans. Mostly Gene Colan. I think Jack Kirby does like covers in this one or something.
That he does. Oh, and Gene Colan. It's his first year, right? I love that stuff. All right. And this, good sir?
Spider-Man Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 1. Isn't it bromantic? I've read some of this series, and it is a lot of fun.
It's been released in oversized hardcover previously. Let's see. X-Verse, X-Men, the Spider-Man Deadpool book. That's the Joe Kelly stuff. We only got one volume, and it was just the Joe Kelly stuff. X-Men, X-Verse, X-Women graphic novel, the digest-sized books, and then the Mighty Marvel Masterworks Fantastic Four Volume 3. It started on Yancey Street. We get a couple of super chats here. Let's get that Civil War Omnibus. Thank you for the super chat. And I'm sure that will come. I mean, we got a House of M Omnibus. It's one of those Omnis from the modern events that they haven't collected yet, but I'm sure it will come. So when's the secret? Thank you, John. When's the secret stream with all of the Iron Man? That it will be the same stream that the Legion of Superheroes are going to be on. The friends of the Legion of Superheroes.
Yes.
Yay.
Batman Year 2 better than Gene Colan. I don't know about that.
Whoa.
Man. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. What's everybody most excited for? What are you all most excited for? I'll start with my panel, of course, and then everybody in the chat. What's the one book that you have to have out of this previews?
I think it's going to have to be ROM. I mean, this is probably a once-in-a-lifetime thing right here. This is a get it before the license runs out deal.
Okay. Well, okay, we'll move on up. What about you, Lars? What do you think?
I was sitting here quietly hoping I was going to stumble upon something other than ROM, but it's got to be ROM. But also this seems like a thinner month. It is January. One might expect that they're not, publishing full force in January 2024. But yeah, it's that ROM Omnibus with Frank Miller X-Men cover. Yeah.
Oh, really? And
yeah,
the X-Men
that's the one that I would go for. There's other good stuff here, but I collect the soft covers less and less. So
okay. What about you, Kurtis? Which cover? If you had to pick out of the four, which cover?
I think I'd go with the original #1 Frank Miller #1.
Okay.
I like that cover.
Okay, Ødfel. Here we go.
I like trade paperbacks, so mine would probably be She-Hulk. I'm really excited to keep reading that because I've been reading it just in trade. So that's my pick for sure. But Hollow's Eve also looks really good. I haven't really gotten to read anything with that character, so I might pick it up and try it.
Yeah, she appeared in the Zeb Wells run of Spider-Man.
Design is super good.
Yeah, so I like her ridiculous power. Kind of reminds me of horror movies. So, yeah, She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell. Okay. What about you, Jess? What do you got? What do you got, buddy? You gonna break the mold?
JMS Thor.
JMS Thor. Okay.
Added content and extra trading cards and pixie sticks and stuff. All the candy that's included in that run.
Hollow foil covers, scratch and sniff. Yeah.
I am excited for this because of putting everybody together, author-wise, writer-wise. It's jam-packed with stuff I want to read.
Yeah.
So I think it was JMS Thor, little behind the scenes. When I was announcing the reprint, it was just going to be Straczynski's. Then I asked, hey, I think people would really be happy if you added like the Gillen stuff, because that stuff's never been collected in oversized format. And they did. And then when I got to announce it, people in the chat were like, oh, it needs, like, it'd be cool if they added Siege. And I thought it'd be cool if they added Beta Ray Bill God Hunter. So it's really cool that they added both series. That makes me really happy, and it feels more complete. And yeah, awesome.
It's great. And Winx Club. I can't wait for that one.
Cannot wait for the Winx Club drop.
Got to give it 20 years, okay? Give me 20 years to announce that one. I'll be announcing that one. I got to go with ROM. It's too important not to miss out on it. Yeah. After the whole Conan thing, after licensing, we've learned a lot of things don't stay there forever. And it's one of those things that ROM was it was a toy that didn't have a story. So back then what they would do is, give Marvel or DC the chance to write a story about these characters. Same thing happened to G.I. Joe. It was very successful. And the same thing happened to Transformers, very successful. And then eventually those got a cartoon, but ROM never had a cartoon. So 95% of everything in ROM is Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Except for the character.
Well, it's
even his origin. Everything is
slightly bizarre. It's always been slightly bizarre that there is just the one toy. I mean, because even Marvel comes in and goes, "We're going to make other Space Knights, where there's going to be Starshine and Terminator and all this stuff." It's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Why on earth didn't the people who make ROM did that? Because Micronauts there was more. It's very strange, there only one.
And I got to go with the Perez cover.
What's the one on the right? That's like a
that's the house ad from Sal Buscema. That's like it was an ad to introduce the character of ROM.
Yeah.
But they changed the wording up a little bit.
If I got ROM, that would be the cover I would get. because it's so
cool. It's a cool cover.
interesting. Yeah.
I don't know which one. Yeah,
we
whenever you have this many direct market covers, like I love to play the game of like which one's going to go out of print first.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
really difficult with Rom because there's nostalgia, and then there's this amazing piece by one of the greatest artists ever who passed away last year. And then there's the standard edition. You never know, because I mean we've seen cases where the standard editions go out of print first before the direct market covers.
The four of us managed to pick all 4 covers, so that was pretty good.
Oh, we did, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, it's one of those cases that this opens the door to hopefully a lot more other things that could come. And having people really interested in this book, you know, could hopefully potentially open up doors to other things. So I'm very excited about this. I was very excited to get to announce it, and I could tell in the comments that people, you know, you're always gonna have people that are like, what is this junk? It's not Darkhawk. It's not. What is it? Winx Club or whatever the heck you're saying.
I would
you know,
definitely, yeah.
But there was a majority of people. I was joking earlier that was my number one breaking news video and number one watch to like ratio for breaking news. Never had a video like that. And I joked to the panel or before we started that a lot of older people probably learned to use the internet that day so they can watch the video. I mean, this guy talking about Rob.
But wasn't it a toy like in 1979? So
1979. Toy 1979.
Yeah.
So it's going to be people younger than I am, like your age. It's not going to be old people.
Well, you gotta, but you gotta think though. A lot of the people that got into the comics were not buying the toy. They just got the comic because they saw X-Men.
That's
or
right.
they saw Bill Mantlo.
Okay.
I'm young enough. I remember it being in stores, but I never bought it because it was just the one toy. And it's like, because like G.I. Joe and Transformers, you can make them fight or whatever. And I don't know how to make just one toy fight itself. I mean, there's probably a way. Probably a more imaginative child than me could have figured it out. But
So yeah, it makes me really happy that there were a lot of people really pleased with this, and I'm so glad that it's coming. Love DC's Atari Force as well as Rom and Micronauts. Yeah, Atari Force is another one, and Micronauts is coming. Oh my gosh, Rom and Micronauts on the same week. Oh yeah,
I might need a tranquilizer when we talk about the Micronauts Omnibus. It's so exciting.
All right, so let me go through the chat here and see what everybody wants to. Long live the Legion. There you go. All 4 of you. Long live the Legion. You guys could get all 4 of your rings together and form your own little club after school.
That great series that DC is not even publishing at the moment.
Well, Bendis tried. Fantastic Four, Mighty Marvel Masterworks, Spider-Man and Deadpool, Moon Knight, and Hulk Epic Collections. We'd love to see Epic of the Incredibles. Rom, JMS Thor, woohoo, a Legion superhero. Okay, 5 of you. I can count.
It needs to happen.
Rom, Thor, not even close. For me, it's JMS Thor. Long live the Legion. I think I counted Jeff twice, but I'll give you another one. 5. There you go. Rom, enough said. Poor Inhumans, still waiting for an Omni or a Masterwork. I'm honestly... Well, Inhumans is one of those characters like Black Widow. They didn't have their own ongoing series. It wasn't until years later, modern era, that we got Inhumans maxi series and ongoing series. So it would be like those classic trade paperbacks: Amazing Spider-Man Epic 2, Rom, Spider-Man Deadpool Modern Epic Collection, JMS, Gil and Thor, and let's see here. Extreme Venomverse for me, Hollows Eve, and Spider-Gwen if I can. Happy about Ben Reilly, but I own that one. None of these are on my buy list, but I'm so excited for the savings. Toss up between JMS, Thor, and Rom. Just like Oreos, I just can't pick one. What's up, Doug? How are you, brother? I forgot to pre-order Rom, but JMS Thor takes precedence. Rom and Hulk Epic Collections. Good choices, Curtis. That's the one I'm getting. He's talking about your cover choice there.
Yeah.
ROM all day. Has there ever been more unexpected omnibus announcement? Not since I've been announcing omnis. I mean, there have been surprises. There have been some that have made people happy. I think that one, that's the biggest surprise I've had to announce. And years in the making. It wasn't easy. It was years in the making. It wasn't like an overnight, hey, anybody know what ROM's up to lately? It was years in the making to make that happen.
I've never seen so many people so excited for that announcement. I don't know. I wasn't playing with those particular toys in college or toy, so I don't know anything about it. But wow, people wanted this book and that Micronauts book forever.
Yeah, there's some good Bill Mantlo stuff, man. JMS Thor batteries not included. Between this and Fractions era, Thor is pretty darn collected. Yes, it is. Daredevil Born Again Gallery Edition is my biggest one here. Probably Marvel's best story. Omar, how long did you know about Star Wars by Gillen and Pack? Oh, I got that list in January, I think. But even that list was like, maybe some things will change. It's not until I get a seal of approval from Marvel that I get to announce them. And so I guess for about 6 months now, 5 months. Yeah. I assume that came out, right? You're not just baiting me. I can't keep up with what I've released so far because I've got them. Oh, crap.
You're like second guessing now.
Wait. Did I announce that one?
You did. Yep.
Okay.
You
Okay.
did.
Woo. That's bait. Because I've got them.
You also announced that Transformers Omnibus.
Shut up. That's not real. I wish. I've got them to go on automatic live, and I've got them already dated. So I'm like, oh wait, maybe that one hasn't gone live, and he's baiting me. It's a good trick. I like that. ROM and Micronauts were such a fun dollar bin dig, with the exception of a few issues. I agree. That's where I would find most of those old issues. Daredevil Gallery Edition, Thor, JMS, ROM are my top picks. Can't spell ROM with oh my.
Without
Max. Stretch.
Oh my.
Conan, what about Master Kung Fu for us Epic fans? You can blame Kurtis on that. He told everybody to buy the Epics instead of the Omnis. People are gonna buy X-Men even if it's not X-Men. That's true. Let's see here. Years of torture. Welcome to comics. Marvel did say in their ROM article that the whole ROM run is going to get reprinted. Yeah.
I think they did say that, actually.
They did say that, yeah.
Maybe they'll crawl that back, but yeah.
Who had the ROM toy? Oh, in the chat? That's what I'm curious. Who did have the ROM toy? I never got it. That thing was big too. It wasn't like your G.I. Joe.
Well, that's the thing. In a world where the smaller Star Wars action figure had become the dominant model, they decided to do this giant whacking, toy.
Is ROM cooler than C-3PO? Because that is tough to do.
He is not cooler than C-3PO.
Dude, C-3PO is like, what?
God tier.
C-3PO is like the Legion of Superheroes of robots. Like, what? No. Just take that as you will if you like. Yeah, right? Might be wise to pre-order ROM. I think he'll sell out quick. I definitely think one of the covers is going to be gone quick. I don't know which.
That will be the question. I don't think it will sell out. All of them will sell out, but
right. I think you're going to have.
Yeah, when the covers.
Which one do you think will sell out? Just guess. It's not. You're not saying it will. You don't have inside information from Marvel, but
I can't look at my crystal ball. I really don't know. This is
the
tough.
fact that we all four of us voted for a different cover might mean that the sales will be diffused.
All right. If I don't speak for Marvel, but if I worked at Marvel and I had if I had to print these, the lowest print run I would make would be the house ad.
Yep.
Because the house ad is such a unique, and I'm not hating on it. I think it's really cool, but it's so different than an actual cover.
Yeah.
You don't have what looks to be like a comic page printed as a cover.
Yeah.
So that is a very unique one. I think that's the one that I would print the less copies of. And please do not buy 85, unless you want to, 85 copies of that, because Omar is telling you on a stream that he thinks that's the one that's going to have the lowest print run. But if I were to print them, then that would be the one that I would go with the lowest print run. Yeah.
That is a cool cover right there.
Cool.
That standard one. That is boss looking.
Omar, if Marvel got ROM and Micronauts from Hasbro, maybe Transformers and G.I. Joe licenses are coming too. I can't speak of any of that. All I can say is that it's not a thing that's across the board. It's not a one and all. It's
Yeah, because how
not.
does that work? Does IDW still have rights to make new comics, or are they getting ROM back? I don't know if you know.
Well, yeah, licensing is so weird and difficult to talk about. IDW lost the license, so they can't print, reprint anything. They can't even print. They can't even do the collected edition of their final Transformer stories, trade paperbacks included, as of January of this year. Beast Wars, whatever it was, they cannot. G.I. Joe, same thing. Mask, same thing.
Yeah.
The only thing they have a license to right now is TMNT.
Okay.
And licensing is even weird when it comes to classic stories. Marvel has the rights now to ROM, the classic stuff, but it doesn't mean that they can print new. Like if IDW did a run of ROM,
it also doesn't mean that. Yeah, it also doesn't mean that Marvel wants to do new stuff. I mean, some things are generationally top heavy. I mean, when you put out classic ROM, we're all like, "Ooh, really?" But a new ROM comic, I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care."
ROM comic. I like it already.
Rom-com.
I mean, well, as with anything, if it were a rom-com, but it were a genuinely powerful story or art or whatever, then sure, I could be made to be interested. But in and of itself, I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Does this catalog even have lady omnibuses?
No.
No, Bar. No. We do have a lady in the panel though. That we have Ødfel, and we have She-Hulk and Spider-Gwen. They have to.
And Hallows Eve.
And Hallows Eve, right? They have to fat those
and women of X women or whatever.
Patsy Walker. Get Patsy Walker.
This
there's
is
an omnibus
stupid Curtis's dumb idea. I hate this idea so much, Curtis.
Well, that's pretty much like Marvel Age with getting an omnibus. It's like we could get a letter pages omnibus too.
Wow, what a bizarre concept. I'm always less enthused about the letter pages. I'm like, if it includes them or doesn't include them, I'm like, whatever. But
Curtis wants Marvel to go bankrupt and print letter page omnibus.
I don't. If all they would need to do is get the significant letters that were like written by people who are famous now, and stick them as bonus features in the back of their books, and that's fine. We don't need all of them.
What's up, Mr. Awesome? There must be some mistake that we got a Parker Brothers robot toy Omni before Chuck Austin X-Men asking for an Archangel Forever. Ooh,
oh God,
that might be the hottest take of today.
I'm honestly a little pained by that. Yeah.
What did Marvel stop doing their OHCs so often? We have like one in a month or maybe less. I really want Ewing, Gillen, and Duggan X-Men and OHCs. I think a lot of that has to do with them transitioning over to omnibus format, and I don't speak for them. I mean, that's just me thinking that's probably what happened. They saw the sales of Omnis, were going up, and then the sales of OHCs were going down. So that might have been what happened. IDW lost everything but their copper wiring and toilets. Now, keep in mind that is a company that has filed bankruptcy twice, and they're still hanging there. There's several publishing companies that have filed bankruptcy in the past that are standing strong still to today. It doesn't mean that they're going out of business,
they don't.
In the 90s, Marvel so it's not unheard of.
That is true. That is true, but they had the good grace to be holding the Marvel catalog, so
Mm-hmm. It's really difficult to bounce back when the 90% of your comics were IP related.
Oh, exactly.
That unfortunate thing that happens. What's up, Minties? I'm late. No, we can't start over. That Black Cat Omni, direct market, best cover of the year. Yes,
Black Cat Omni.
Get that Jed McKay Black Cat Omnibus. It's so good. Oh man, I don't know. My favorite cover, honestly, has been that Inhuke Lee Spider-Gwen Omnibus Volume 2. Symbiote cover. That thing is freaking awesome. I wish that was on the spine. Oh yes, Birds of Prey, one of my most wanted Omnis. Either the Chuck Dixon or the Gail Simone run. I love both of those runs. But yeah, Secret Six all over that.
I would buy an Omni for that.
Totally.
Oh yeah, we so need that. Let's see here. Uncle Raj wrote that ad copy for ROM, according to him. Yeah, somebody told me that he's still hanging out in the Marvel Masterworks forums, and he said that he wrote that ad for ROM, which is really cool. And that's Roger Stern for people that don't know who Uncle Raj is. Oh, whatever. I'll just wait for Win Club and Totally Spies Omnis. You do that in 20 years' time, and then
Totally Spies is getting a reboot. That's all I'm saying. They have confirmed that. So,
who is they? Who has confirmed?
I don't remember the animation studio. They're out of like Canada or Europe. I think Canada, France. I don't remember. It's Canada or France. But they are making a new cartoon. So
I think that it was originally a French cartoon, and then the Canadian studio Nelvana was the one who brought it over to Canada or to North America. I don't remember. There are actually a lot of Totally Spies comics as well. I think Paper Cuts did a bunch of Totally Spies comics, so we could possibly get an omnibus if they can get the rights to it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I did not think that we would be talking about that today. Wow.
Totally it's such a cool series.
Oh, I believe you. It's just going to be interesting in 30 years' time when you're trying to tell, people in their 20s about Totally Spies and Winx Club Omnis.
I'm just surprised.
I don't get it. Why did anybody...
Yeah, like I'm just surprised they're even bringing back the show, because it was kind of, I feel like, an obscure one when I was growing up that no one talks about anymore. So I'm like, okay.
It was so not obscure in Canada. They played it all the time on Teletoon. It was like so. Yeah, it was like, come on, just want to watch Bugs Bunny.
I love that. I love that.
Is there an announcement this Sunday? There's announcements. There's a lot of announcements coming. Got to get them out before I go to Japan. Yeah, there's one Saturday. No, wait. Oh my gosh, when do I release that? Oh, hold on. There's one Saturday and Sunday, and then Tuesday. Monday, there's a Titans announcement, Titan Comics announcement. So I gotta get that scheduled. Oh my gosh. Let me stop sharing here. There we go. So that was the solicits or the previews for September. Make sure you pre-order when these go live, which ROM should already be live. I assume that one is already live everywhere. When is Skybound announcing they are launching the new Transformers comics line? I'm sure San Diego Comic-Con will get a lot of answers to a lot of questions. A lot of answers to a lot of questions. Oh. I hear the door opening to my basement.
Is it your mom coming to bring you lunch?
Really, Jess? At 2?
It happened one time.
Hey, baby.
Oh, it is your mom.
Mom? Who? Me?
Can I curse?
Oh, why do you want to curse?
Because
no, this is a Marvel stream. You don't curse at Marvel's themes.
What up, people?
No, okay. God bless. You never know what my wife is gonna say when she's drinking caffeine. So yes.
Melanie Omar didn't sing the song.
Oh man.
When do I ever?
You could.
Sorry, Walt. I apologize for that. So if you're interested in buying books in America, check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. Now come up with a song on the spot.
They're cheap.
Oh my God! Please don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that!
They're novels.
Oh, you're
cheapgraphicnovels.com.
It's a winner.
That was awful. Matt's gonna message me. Why did I just lose a bunch of sales? Like people canceled their pre-orders.
That was totally awesome.
Novels.
Goodness, great.
I'm gonna go round table here. Everybody can tell me where people can find you. Is the whole family down here? This gentleman up here, up above me. Where can people find you when you're not hanging out with me, my dude?
OmniDogs Vault on YouTube and OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram. Thank you so much for having me on. Very fine condition. It's always a pleasure.
That's the way Jess sees me, by the way. That's the way he calls me. Very fine.
Ødfel.
Ødfel. Where can people find you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all under Ødfel. Twitter, it's with a 0 and not an O. And additionally, I will be at Three Rivers Comic Con this weekend in Pittsburgh, and next weekend I'll be at Animate Columbus. So if you're at those cons, stop by.
Wow,
I'll be
you're
selling
busy.
prints, and it'll be fun.
Wow.
That is awesome. Okay. Norwegian Assassin, where can people find you?
As ever, I'm at madnorwegian.com. And as I blurted out at the beginning of the panel, our next Doctor Who book should be shipping next week or the week after. Copies from Amazon UK are a little weird. So if you can order if you're in the UK and can order from Forbidden Planet, that for now, that might be a better option for you. I'm sure the other ones will ship eventually. They're just kind of being strange.
Thank you. And Kurtis, where can people find you, brother?
You can find me at epicmarvelpodcast.com. And just so that I'm not one-upped by Lars, I'll tell you that you should all pre-order For Better or For Worse Volume 7, which is coming in September.
Yay!
Nice. That's what I was waiting for.
How many volumes do you think there'll be?
Is there going to be 8?
There will be 9 in total. 9 in
Nine.
total.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So the other 2 will come out in 2024.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I know that's a big milestone for you.
I congratulate you on getting to the end because I think we all have scars from series that stopped halfway through, so that's very good.
For sure. Well, and like it can still happen. I mean, IDW is very finicky these days with their publishing schedule, so we'll see how it goes.
That is so true. Yeah,
It's one of the best comics ever.
Wow, that is the second seal of approval for OmniDog today. The first one was what was the first one? Was your seal of approval on?
My haircut.
Haircut? DJ?
Oh, yes, it was Curtis's haircut.
DJ says best haircut of the show is Curtis's.
Wow, the best.
You ready
haircut.
for summer?
On Tuesday, we will have a retrospective of all of Curtis's haircuts over the years.
Oh my God.
I go to the hairdresser like once every 6 months. And we just had a little heat wave here in Vancouver in the middle of May, and I'm like, my hair is so hot. I just had to get it all cut off.
Indeed, you are so hot. Yes. No, we've established this.
Okay. Well, this conversation got really weird and less focused on me, and I don't like that. So on that note, I'm out of here. I got to go get a vaccine. Hopefully I don't get sick from it. What are we doing? Is COVID vaccine? What are we getting? Can't remember.
Can you really not remember?
No.
We're all getting our COVID boosters for Japan.
Yeah, Japan. So
Can you
there we
just
go.
leave and the 4 of us can keep talking?
No, because no one can end the stream. And then the stream will go forever when everybody leaves, and people will be like, "What's going
your
on?"
point?
Just talk amongst yourselves in the chat.
And then for some reason, my channel is gone. Like I get an email from YouTube saying this,
you get
this content is
you were
not
terminated
easily. Should not be streaming anywhere. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will be back live. Oh my gosh, I'll be back live tomorrow reviewing Spider-Verse, and then Saturday, and then I'm sure someday I'll be resting. Someday. Anyway, bye everybody. Thank you for joining us.